Algorand staking is now live on this platform. Which one is it? We are going to dive into that on today's Frugal BC Plus. This Algorand influencer thinks Algorand can 10x. You think so too? We'll dive into that. Algorand is now natively multi-chain. We'll look into what that means. Realms, a multiverse project on Algorand, announced a new racing game with NFT projects. We'll dive into that. And Algorand has been added to a new AI trading terminal. All that plus the Algorand staking news on this huge platform. We're going to dig into that all on today's Frugal BC. By the way, if you like this stuff, please hit that like and subscribe button. Now remember, of course, you don't have to smash it. Hey, just press it gently and it works just fine that way too. We are brought to you by non-fungible domains. That's right, if you want that .algo address that makes doing everything in Algorand so much easier, check out non-fungible domains. They got vaults, segments, all kinds of great features. It's a wonderful service to have, and you should check that out in the description below. And we are brought to you by Marcus Aurelius, a meme coin and NFT project on the Algorand blockchain. Guys, I just really love what they're doing. They are spreading the wisdom of Stoicism. Stoicism has been so important in my life. It's gotten me some really tough times, so it's really awesome to support a project like this, and they support Frugal BC, and that's great. A great partnership, so go check out Marcus Aurelius in the description below. And we do have channel membership starting at only $1. Check that out in the description below. Special videos for hired member tiers, but let's get to today's show. So first off, will Algorand 10x from here? Let's see what this influencer thinks. This is from Zach Humphreys. We followed him before, and let's see what he has to say about this.
So obviously there are no guarantees in crypto, guys, but in this video, I want to break down why I think Algorand can easily 10x from here current price levels. And, you know, the more I'm looking at the market right now, the more I just want to focus in on top 50 cryptos that could 10x, right? I mean, think about it. There are so many opportunities just right inside the top 50 that you don't really have to leave. And building out big positions inside the top 50 right now ahead of the altcoin market is the best way to, you know, perform well when altcoin season hits. So many people try to get the 100x, the 50x, the, you know, going, you know, deep diving and trying to find this gem. I mean, just focus in on some of the top assets in the top sectors. And one of the sectors that I love is the RWA sector. And I've got more than a couple in that sector just because there's a lot of them in the top 100 and they're tried and true. They're tested. And if we get into Algorand a little bit, I'll share with you guys quickly kind of my thoughts here. And guys, by the way, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Full stop, by the way, I am partnered up with Algorand. I've been working with these guys for a couple months now. It has been phenomenal. I've met some people from the foundation, from the marketing team. They're phenomenal to work with. So happy to be working with a top 50 project. They are US based. They are focused in on tokenization of real world assets. They've got a ton of great projects building in this area. And guys, this is a company that has withstood the test of time, a top 50 crypto that's been here and done that. And if you go back to 2021 at the tops, at the peaks of the market, they were trading at $2.14. Now, they were trading way back in 2019 at $3.15, you know, when they had their ICO, when they, you know, way back in the day.
Yeah, and that was largely a botched launch, unfortunately. I think sometimes people forget this coin was over $2 in some sense. So definitely something to pay attention to be mindful of, that this was a very different project in the last bull run. And, you know, who knows? Let's see. But I want to see more of what he has to say.
Obviously, they're 94% down from that. And it's going to be a ways until you get back up there. But getting back to these all-time high levels just of 2021 at $2.14, that's more than a 10x from here, guys. Okay, at 20 cents, a 10x would be to $2. We're a little bit below 20 cents, and we've been a little bit higher than $2. We're looking at a 10 to 12x opportunity to me on Algorand just to get back to the all-time highs. And again, it fits the bill that the fact that it's US based. It fits the bill that it's ISO compliant.
Oh, he had to say the ISO compliant. Now, listen, I'm a big fan of Zach Humphreys. I think he does some good work. He is a follower of me, and so obviously has good taste. I'm kidding. Probably a better joke would have been, you know, he's we won't hold that against him. But no, ISO compliance not actually a thing. There's no such thing as an ISO compliant cryptocurrency. It just doesn't exist. I've covered that about 1 billion times, and it seems like a lot of his argument is based on the fact that it has been that high again. I don't think that means it can't get up there, but the fact that we did hit some really we didn't hit higher lows, if that makes sense, and that's always a little bit concerning. So I'm just gonna react to that first part. I don't want to drag the video down, and I don't want to steal his entire video. If we had reacted to this on stream, I would have done the whole thing, but yeah, let's get on. Definitely check it out, check out the whole video, and maybe we'll, on our live stream Friday, we'll go through the whole thing and do something a little deeper. But I just want to put that out there. I do think he does good work. I think he's a good person in the space from what I can tell. So like I said, he follows me, but don't hold that against him. And let's move on to the next item. And that is that Algorand is now natively multi-chain. What does that mean? Well, why don't we take a look? This is right from the Warden. That's right, the Warden, Stacy Warden herself, CEO of the Algorand Foundation. I know I'll get some comments about, what her status should be, and that always just happens. Anyway, Algorand is now natively multi-chain through Wormhole NTT, and I just figured out I was seeing like I thought Snake Eyes, like Snake Eye. No, that's Wormhole. Get it? Okay. Algorand goes natively multi-chain powered by Wormhole NTT, built by Folks Finance. Jeez. I really like when they post stuff like this. Tell me more about the impact. Tell me what this means for the average crypto holder. Tell me how I benefit or what this will mean in the future. This is one of my, maybe we learn a little bit more here. I mean, obviously we want interoperability. We want cross-chain, multi-chain interoperability. Let's see. Key benefits of NTT integration. Algorand developers can mint NTT-based tokens using existing standards and tools, opening new pathways for multi-chain liquidity and cross-ecosystem user flows. Okay, so it makes it easier for developers to use other coins without a whole lot of extra coding. Okay, cool. I like to be the crypto translator and put it into like normal people language. Retail users will be able to move assets directly between Algorand and other NTT-enabled chains. That's really key. You just get it's just increased liquidity. You can move chains, you can move different coins between Algorand and other chains pretty easy, right? Okay, token issuers from other ecosystems can now deploy their assets natively on Algorand, unlocking new users, liquidity pools, and DeFi protocols. And I actually think this really benefits Algorand because so much of Algorand's infrastructure works so well compared to other stuff. I've talked about this a million times, of course, but I really do think that's a key element here. So yeah, very cool, good to see. And that's what that actually means. And next up, Realm is about to launch a racing game using NFT projects. Well, I didn't even hear about this. Let's take a look here. Voted top 10 on projects via the Nico League table. Next voting cycle, we'll have their character mascot included as a playable character in NF Turbo. It's like NFT with Turbo combined. Also, selected partner projects will be included too. I didn't even know this was a thing. There we got a little Munko guy in a racing car. I like it. Lemon Legend, BO Algorand NFTs, and Astro Explorer are next up for the racetracks. Please start thinking about how you want them to look. First and second place for voting cycle 4 we'll both get racetracks made for their projects. As you know, I'm a huge fan of Astro Explorer and Borkborks, and I have my own little Bork. In fact, I used that in yesterday's sponsored video, and you guys should go give that some love. Big shout out to Fractal Monsters and their new game, Fractal TCG. It's a really fun game, and I was really happy to do that sponsored video. So go check that out, give it some love, because we got to get that one, want to get that one going. But yeah, I'm really happy about this. I'm looking forward to checking this out. I haven't explored this one yet. I have to look into it more because Realms is supposed to be this metaverse project. You can buy little things for your metaverse character, and it's a pretty neat project. And next up, Algorand has been added to this AI trading terminal. I gotta say, I want to kind of check this out because I find this stuff interesting, and I've been wanting to do an experiment around this. I'll tell you a little bit later about the other experiment I stopped. But let's get into this first. Directly from the Algorand Foundation, ADA app is now integrated with Algorand. Algorand has now been added to the trading terminal and the ADA wallet, a huge step for AI-powered DeFi on Algorand. So it doesn't really tell you when you read this what ADA app is, and I think that's a huge mistake. So I went to it myself, and it turns out it's an AI-powered trading terminal that connects multiple DEXs and launch pads for the best trading experience. So I'm pretty interested in that because I've been looking to a couple AI trading projects, and I haven't been really happy with what I've seen. There's one called Arch Public, but you need to have a TradingView account, so I should probably get one anyway, but I haven't done that yet. Something I'm looking into. And then I looked into another one on Algorand that's an Algorand specific trading bot, and I downloaded it and I was going to try it out. And you know what? You have to put in your passphrase to use it. There's no way, just to be clear, no way I'm putting my passphrase into anywhere on the internet or any application. No, you can link my wallet. I will do that, but I am not putting my password somewhere. Just not happening. There's nobody I trust enough in this space at all to give my password to. Just not happening. And so I hope they change that. I hope they get a linker, because then I would try it out. In the meantime, maybe I'll look into this one. I'll give it a follow, because this might be worth checking out, not just for Algorand, but whatever they have. I'd put some Bitcoin in here and just see what happens. And if it works, put a little more in, basically. Okay, but our last our last, certainly not least, is that Algorand staking is now live on this platform. Which one it is? It is Crypto.com. That's right, Algorand staking live on Crypto.com. Let's look at this news. I'm going to tell you why you should care about this too, because I know some people react a certain kind of way, but let's get into the news first. Crypto.com Algo is now available for on-chain staking in the Crypto.com app. Start staking to secure your favorite blockchain or protocol while earning up to 6% rewards. Enjoy the flexibility of unstaking your assets in a secure and convenient manner. Okay, so a lot of people, well, what do they have now? So it's addition to Crow, which is their native token, ETH, Matic, Tia, AVAX, Sol, Atom, and more. So they got a lot of stuff. Now I know a lot of people say, well, why don't you just run a node or whatever? And there's a reason why this is important, because a lot of people, there's a small group of people that are like us, probably a lot of the people watching, who, we got the Algorand wallet, we're knee deep in all the dApps, we might liquid staking on Tinyman or LP farming, whatever. And then there's a whole bigger chunk of people who are going to be holding on stuff like Coinbase, Crypto.com, Kraken, etc. And they're not going to be comfortable with running a node or even doing anything in the wallet. And I will tell you, I work with some, quote unquote normies, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. And even just setting up a Parallel wallet, like, you'd be surprised at the things you kind of have to explain and the things they get stuck on. So they're not running a node anytime soon, let me tell you. So this is big. And also this is a pathway, because when I was on Coinbase, because I was one of the Coinbase people, I still have a lot of assets on Coinbase, frankly. And algo staking was how I got into Algorand. And then when the staking ended, I found out that I could keep staking on the actual wallet. So that led me to get my first wallet. And then Yieldly came out and I started using Yieldly, and that was the whole intro to the DeFi ecosystem. Now, obviously Yieldly didn't go so well, so there is that, but that's why this stuff matters. So if you think this doesn't matter, just because it doesn't apply to you doesn't mean it doesn't matter. That's one thing I think people got to get over. Like, yeah, I don't care about this personally. I don't really have, I think I have like $5 of Bitcoin on Crypto.com for some random reason. I think maybe I was gonna, I don't know what it's going to do, but I'm not going to be staking on there. I've got other means, but I want other people who aren't like me to have access to this, and that's why that matters. So anyway, so that is our show for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, leave them in the comments below, unless you're one of those people who are trying to promote coin XRT192 or whatever, just stop. I know I'm just going to delete it anyway, guys. And I found out a way to do that really fast. But for the rest of you, always happy, for real people who aren't bots, happy to hear from you as always, and always disagree respectfully. I'm always happy to have that disagreement. Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm FrugalBC. I hope you're doing well out there, and I will see you in the future.